You're listening to The Phillip Jordan Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into a breaking news special edition of the Phillip Jordan Show. Of course, you're checking out over on YouTube. Thank you. We're live on YouTube right now, both on the Phillip Jordan Media page and the Phillip Jordan Show channel. So please, if you're checking out right now, appreciate it. Up on podcast form as well. This will not be long, probably around 10 minutes or so. I am, of course, your host, Phillip Jordan, for Last Word on College Football and 96.9 The Legend in Dothan, Alabama, where I'm the in-studio host and producer, Dothan Wolves Football. Breaking news on Thursday, and that is Tyler Buchner is committing to play for Alabama. Former Notre Dame quarterback who entered the portal early this week. He announced on Thursday morning he would be headed to Alabama, and he had a long post or comment talking about the decision, why he was doing it, and all. And here is what he had to post on his Twitter account this morning. My time at Notre Dame allowed me to grow and develop as a football player while building lifelong friendships that were forged under fire. I love my teammates and will take those relationships with me for the rest of my life. They truly made my time at Notre Dame special. I also want to thank Coach Freeman, the coaching staff, support staff, and the entire Irish family for all they did to help me mature both on and off the football field. Sometimes life brings opportunities that are beyond anything you can imagine, and that is what happened today. I have committed to play football for the University of Alabama and head coach Nick Saban. I know this is the best decision for my future, and I can't wait to get to Tuscaloosa and begin the next step of my football journey. And that post has already got Bryant Denny in the background. The Alabama logo is there. So he is there. He is headed to Alabama. 3 years remaining to play. He started as the Notre Dame quarterback last year, the first two games before getting hurt against Ohio State and Marshall. We'll put it out there. They were 0-2 in those starts, losing 21-10 to Ohio State and 26-21 to Marshall, which Marshall was a solid Sun Belt team. And we all know what Ohio State did last season. He did come back. He played in the Gator Bowl against South Carolina, where Notre Dame won 45-38. A game he was 18-33, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did throw 3 interceptions, 61 yards on the ground, and 2 touchdowns. And that one, so he's a running threat. He's a passing threat. Now, if you look at the 3 games he played in last season, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Reunites with Tommy Rees, who was his offensive coordinator there at Notre Dame. And I said, well, he's familiar with Tommy Rees, and more importantly, Tommy Rees is familiar with him. He knows what he's getting out of him as a quarterback. Per ESPN's report, he canceled other visits with other teams. He came away highly impressed with Nick Saban in Alabama to make his decision. Of course, we're coming off Alabama having their spring game this past week with Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson both struggling. Interceptions, the 2 of them threw 3 combined interceptions. They were not accurate. They were inconsistent. Yes, they made big plays. Talked about this on the show on Monday, but there was inconsistency. Both quarterbacks did struggle at times in the spring game, and this adds another player in. Of course, he's going to now be inserted into that quarterback battle. It's now a 3-headed battle instead of just 2 with Tyler Buchner. Of course, Nick Saban, whenever he comes out and talks about this, he's going to talk about it's going to be about competition. You know that's what's going to be the message there for Nick Saban. Now, the quarterback that took over for Notre Dame when Buchner went down last season was Drew Pine. He went 8-2 as starter, threw for a little over 2,000 yards, 22 touchdowns, 65% completion percentage, and he moved on to Arizona State. Of course, Sam Hartman, former Wake Forest quarterback, is there at Notre Dame. So 2 quarterbacks lost from Notre Dame. You can see why, because Sam Hartman's coming in. Last year, he's going to be playing college football and looking to go elsewhere. An opportunity, and there is an opportunity there at Alabama. And like I said, he does bring the ability to be a good passer. Now, he has, in the sample size we have seen, which is small, and he has plenty of room to develop, and he's a talented quarterback that actually Alabama had offered when he came out of high school. He was the number 41 ranked recruit coming out of the 2021 recruiting class. So obviously a talented player. Alabama wanted him. Nick Saban and that coaching staff saw something from Buchner that they liked. And they said, okay, we can take this guy and he could be part of our program here. My big question on Alabama is receivers. Somebody has to step up at that position. That was a big problem last season with Bryce Young. And now who's going to be those receivers to step up for Alabama going into the next year? So to me, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Alabama needs receivers to step up. They've got a boatload of running back. I think the offensive line is good. But now you got Buchner coming in with Ty Simpson and Jalen Milroe. This should step up their game, some sense of urgency. Okay, they're bringing in a quarterback after spring. Obviously, Coach Nick Saban, the coaching staff, offensive coordinator Tommy Rees were not happy with what they saw out of the quarterbacks. So it will be a very intriguing fall for Alabama. And now you got to look at this too with Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. Does one of those quarterbacks, does one of them now enter the portal because of this? It's always a situation with quarterbacks. You see this, another guy comes in, and I say, oh, wow, I could go from being the second string, one of these two guys, now the third string if Buchner wins the job. And Buchner, you got to think, he would not go to Alabama, wouldn't cancel all those other visits he was scheduled to make if he didn't think there at least was a good chance to be the starting quarterback. Nick Saban's not the kind of coach you would think, just what we've seen from him over the years, would be the kind of coach that would guarantee a starting spot for a quarterback or any position coming in. He's going to compete. He's going to have to win the job. But obviously with the other quarterbacks, we'll see what happens with them as we now see where Tyler Buchner is coming in. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun to follow this and see what happens with that quarterback room now that they have made this addition and the team as well. But obviously Alabama saw a need for a quarterback, saw somebody in the portal that could go get somebody that's familiar with Tommy Rees. Tommy Rees familiar with him. So there's not as much of a learning curve going in to that situation if you were to bring in a quarterback that had no connections with Alabama or the offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees. So anyways, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Post them below if you're on YouTube. You can also hit me up on Twitter at PJordanSEC. Leave a review on Apple Podcast too as well at the Phillip Jordan Show. You can do that as well with your thoughts on this whole situation with Tyler Buchner committing to play for Alabama. And I'm going to start doing this a little bit more often too. If big news hits, maybe do a short video and episode and audio with breaking news like this. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want me to keep or start doing this too as well. I will be back on Tuesday. Brand new podcast. Plan to be reviewing the NFL draft with John Vogel, but wanted to put out this breaking news video, episode, whatever you want to call it. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys next week on Tuesday, unless something else happens and I feel the need to do one of these again. Anyways, thanks, guys. Talk to you on Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to The Phillip Jordan Show. Subscribe to the audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch the show over at the Phillip Jordan Media YouTube channel. Got a question or topic idea? Email the show at sportstalkphillipjordan@gmail.com. Join us next time for more great football talk.